Every 4 years, the number of new Bitcoins that are created each day is cut in half. That shrinks the supply of new Bitcoins while the demand from new buyers grows along with the growing interest in Bitcoin. This special event, one that only occurs every 4 years, is called a Bitcoin halving. In this video, I'll describe how a halving works, what you can expect following a halving, and how you can position yourself to benefit from this unique event. Hi, I'm Mark Kerrigan, author and founder of the Bitcoin Tutor. Over the history of Bitcoin, there have been 3 halvings or halvenings. Each time the price of Bitcoin tended to rise dramatically over the following 18 months. And Bitcoin tended to drive the market for other cryptos known as altcoins by leading the pack. Before we go on, please click the like button and subscribe just below this video. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified of new videos like this one too. So let's jump in. What causes a halving and how does it all work? First, it's based on Bitcoin mining, which I cover in a different video. But in short, mining is the process that includes the creation of new Bitcoins. The algorithm, or the software program that controls Bitcoin, is very clear. When Bitcoins first got started, 50 new Bitcoins were created every 10 minutes. So that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each chunk of Bitcoins is mined within a new block, and each block gets added to the blockchain, the Bitcoin public ledger. Now this went on for the first 4 years of Bitcoin's life. Put another way, the first 210,000 blocks each had 50 new Bitcoins in them. That's 1 block every 10 minutes every day for 4 years. Now the time is less important than the number of blocks, as blocks sometimes get mined a little bit faster than 10 minutes and other times a little bit slower. So the rule is, or the software says, that the 210,000 blocks is the magic number for the Bitcoin halvings in the Bitcoin algorithm. Now, these Bitcoins are awarded to the people and organizations who pay for the computers, electricity, and maintenance of the Bitcoin network. When they sell their rewarded Bitcoin to pay for things like hardware, power, and people, the Bitcoins got out into the wild, allowing people like you and me to buy them too. 4 years later, the number of new Bitcoins created in each block was cut in half to 25 Bitcoins. 4 years after that, it went down to 12.5 Bitcoins. And in May 2020, at block number 630,000, the number of new Bitcoins mined in each new block halved again to 6.25 Bitcoins, 6.25 per block. Every 10 minutes, a block with 6.25 new Bitcoins is created. With 24 hours in a day and 6 blocks per hour, 144 new blocks get created. With 6.25 Bitcoins per block, that means that 900 new Bitcoins are created each day. That may sound like a lot, but compare that with 7,200 Bitcoins that were created each day when Bitcoin first started back in 2009. Yet, those Bitcoins today are worth much more since the price per Bitcoin is far greater than it was back then. So why the halving? Well, the initial and brilliant design of Bitcoin was to fill the market with a greater amount of inexpensive Bitcoins at first, and then over time as Bitcoins would presumably become more valuable, and of course they have, the rewards would be cut back. That is, the number of Bitcoins would be cut back, but the reward itself would probably grow. Based on this process continuing every 4 years, 99.9% of all Bitcoins will be created by the year 2140. The money supply of Bitcoin will then be fixed, and people will be buying and selling the same Bitcoins over and over again. So to put this another way, 90% of all the Bitcoins that will ever be created have been created. That's about 18.5 million Bitcoins mined in just the first 12 years of the Bitcoin revolution. So the first 12 years created 90% of the Bitcoin, and the next 120 years will be needed to mine the remaining 10%. But that 10% could be worth billions. There isn't anything that you need to do when holding a Bitcoin during a halving. It just affects the miners, the people who run the computers that manage the Bitcoin network. So what's the opportunity for you and me? It seems that for 18 months or so following each halving so far in the history of Bitcoin, the price has gone up, and it's gone up dramatically, like 200%, 300%, and even 500% in price. Bitcoin investors are keen on taking advantage of this naturally occurring pattern in the price following a halving. So lots of people usually start buying in around the halving time, expecting dramatic rises in price. And they have usually been right. Of course, there's no guarantees. This is not trading advice, it's education. It's looking at how things work, what's happened in the past, and projecting out what may occur moving forward. But of course, past performance never guarantees future returns, as the folks on Wall Street like to say. So yes, Bitcoin halvings are popular times for new investors, or for existing investors to add more Bitcoin to their holdings. And it may be a great time for you to consider joining in too. Whether you're a new investor or a seasoned crypto investor, understanding the major patterns helps you invest and trade better. Just like a surfer might say, you can't go out and control the ocean's waves, but you can decide when to go out, whether to wear a wetsuit or not, and how to ride the waves back in. Halvings tend to bring the opportunity for these large waves and the heavy surf. So if you're within 18 months or so of a halving, take a look at Bitcoin and see if it's the right time for you to join in. To recap, Bitcoin halvings occur about every 4 years. Each time, the number of new Bitcoins that are created or mined in a block is cut in half. The latest Bitcoin halving occurred in May 2020. It lowered the Bitcoin reward to 6.25 Bitcoins per block. As the number of new Bitcoins being created goes down, so does the speed of the growth of the Bitcoin money supply. So if the Bitcoin demand stays flat or grows, expect the price to grow in accordance with the laws of supply and demand. Before I close, I bet you probably know someone who would find this video really interesting. Would you mind sharing it with them? Just click the share button below to send them the link. For more information on Bitcoin and other cryptos, visit our website at thebitcointutor.com. Just enter your name and email for a free 3-part video series on what you need to know to be successful with Bitcoin and other cryptos, and how to do it safely and securely. For even more information on today's topic, check out the links in the detail box below. Until next time, keep learning about cryptos and profit from the knowledge.